Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'll be flying the Orthrus again. This is after all currently my main ship in this game. Now for the last week or so I was trying to find one Phi-Outpost combat site for myself, and well, each time I find one of these sites there is someone already inside, and without a key you can't really go in the second room. The second room is the more important room, because that's where you can find the overseer battleship, and the overseer battleship can drop some very nice stuff. Now the build on the ship will be the same. I really like how the Orthrus works with the light rapid missile launchers. I have extended the lock range and I have extended the missile range. It can lock up to 91 km while the missiles reach up to 61 km, which is fine. Overall, that is a very good range for the rapid missiles, and for PvE the Orthrus does work really well with this current setup, a long range kite. Now for the Phi-Outpost I did use on micro warp drive, because the overseer battleship in the end is known to be very quick, and with the afterburner the overseer battleship can actually reach me. So in order to stay safe from that ship I did go with the micro warp drive. Basically my goal would be to keep that ship at 52 kilometers so that I can safely kite without the danger of being webbed or scrambled. Now we have two Phi-Outpost sites. I'll warp to the first one. Local is thankfully clear. Again, if someone looted the box, then the second room is going to be inaccessible to the other pilots who jump in. So if I'm lucky, I have two sites for myself. I'm playing this literally in vampire hours. It's 3 AM, although the game time is a little bit... It shows 12, almost half past 1 AM, but my time is 3 AM, very very late. Okay, going in the site. Ignore the damaged modules. I was experimenting to see how much damage the overheat will do. And well, this is very weird. No boxes, and no racks, I mean, and the main box is there in the asteroid, which means that someone looted or that someone died while running the site. And since the wrecks despawn after about 2 hours, means that the site is already ruined. Now I locked on the gate to see if my internet is acting up, because sometimes if your internet is bad the ships don't immediately appear. They do appear, but you just don't see that on the screen, which can be dangerous. Now there is a special place in hell for whoever thought that it's a good idea to put the container inside of this rock. Getting to the container can sometimes be a pain, and well, yeah. Whoever thought that this was a good idea, there's a special place in hell for you, buddy. Just saying that. Okay, let me maneuver inside of this hole. Kinda does remind me on my ex a little bit, but let's not talk about that for now. That's a big hole indeed. Alright, let's burn back and let's not make any analogies for now. There's time for that. Let me just double check the gate, the acceleration gate, to see if I can get in. The shadow of my own ship kinda scared me for a second. And of course you can't enter. Alright, fair enough. I have the other Phi-Outpost site that I'll go to. Hopefully the second one is not ruined. The Phi-Outpost site can drop A-type, B-type modules. It can also drop the Serpentis stuff, which can be expensive. 500 million for a high-sec site is not bad. I'm not saying no to that, of course. Now for this mission usually I would actually recommend that you go with the heavy assault missiles, but I have the No, not the heavy assault, my apologies, the normal heavy missiles. The heavy assaults are definitely not good for this because of the short range, unless you have a very good tank, of course, but the Orthrus works well at long distances, so the light rapid missiles or the heavy missiles will be perfect for this particular combat site. Long range would be the key, and for this particular combat site I recommend the heavy missiles with this build for a long range, or the light rapid missiles if you prefer to be a little bit closer but still long range. Now there is no danger of having scrambers or webs here, but you know, just be cautious because that can change anytime with an update, or you know, the developers can always do something to give the NPC ships more EWAR or more webs and scramblers, so be always careful and proceed with caution each time you get inside of these rooms. Now, the Orthrus has a lot of DPS. The ship is pretty nasty and pretty scary, so I should be clearing this fairly quickly. We used to run these sites with very cheap cruisers and it took a while, but now with the Orthrus I should be clearing this very quickly. The site has two rooms. This is the first one, and the second room requires a key that is located in that box that is located inside of the rock, so you have to loot that and you have to unlock the gate with the key, and then you can go to the mission. Technically you can buy the key on the market or on a contract, and then you can use the key just to go inside of the gate. Basically you can technically skip the whole first room because it's only locked by the key, so you can easily avoid all the trouble of clearing the targets. However, if you like the bounty, you can go and kill all the ships. The bounty is, after all, very solid and very nice. In my case, the main goal here is to kill all ships and then to do a 1v1 with the Overseer battleship. After all, this site is dangerous, and somehow we have seen so many failed Phi-Outpost sites in high sec, especially. I think a lot of players underestimate the NPCs in this game, and they yeet right inside thinking that they can easily tank them. Well, in fact, these ships here do a lot of damage. They are quite serious opponents, so you have to approach with caution and you have to play smart. Now, the Overseer battleship has a thermal hull, so if you are using missiles, then the Inferno missiles will be the way to go for the final ship, while the other normal Serpentis rats have a kinetic hull, so you want to shoot them with the kinetic missiles or kinetic ammo if you are using turrets. That way you will be doing the most damage to them. I used thermal because I picked a lot of ammunition for this mission. Usually I pick a lot of ammo because I have the habit of forgetting ammo, so when I forget to reload, to restock in the station, now I have everything I need, and there is a chance that I might just drop some missiles here and there when I go to loot, since the Orthrus does spit missiles very quickly and you will be running out of missiles very quickly with the ship, especially if you're using the light rapid missiles. After all, they do fire fairly quickly. They have a long reload. The most annoying part is the long reload. I don't think, actually I have to double check the rigs. Perhaps there is a rig that can technically halve the reload on the missiles, or perhaps a skill or something. But since I am a alpha clone, I'm very limited to the skills that I can use. But that's fine, the game is still completely playable as an alpha clone, and I really do enjoy this game as an alpha clone. I can play casually, I can relax, and I can enjoy what the game has to offer. I can access my favorite ships fairly easily, and well, I make a lot of ISK with those sad ships. Well, not sad ships, but in the forms of the ship being sad, but you know, And speaking of sad ships, I'm planning on getting an Arshimo very soon. And that means I'll have to do some skilling for lasers, or perhaps I can actually fly a Gila. It's very fun because it's very hilarious because when I looked at all the faction ships, I can fly all of them, and I wasn't really aware that I actually have all the skills necessary for all ships. But I have skills for all the faction cruisers, and I can fly all of them. But still, trying to focus on getting some ISK with the Orthrus. After all, these ships are expensive, and I also don't want just the hull. I want to be able to buy the rigs, modules, and everything that comes with the ship. So I still have a lot of things to do. As for the weapons, I have missiles, and I can easily go skill for the lasers. So definitely going to be fun to see what the Arshimo can do in this game. But so far, the Orthrus, as my friend says, the Orthrus slaps. And it might be one of the more expensive faction ships, but it definitely does run really, really well. Now, am I going to use this ship for PvP as an alpha clone? Well, probably. I mean, when I start to eat the Orthrus, it will be eaten, so that's how it goes. But there's the good old rule, one of the oldest rules in the game. Don't fly ships you can't afford to lose. And can I afford to lose the Orthrus? Well, kinda, but I don't feel like losing the ship yet, so I will still get more ISK with it. And I'm fairly sure not many players will attack an Orthrus because they know that this thing is nasty. So I'm not really sure if I will get a lot of targets with this thing. But you know, perhaps I can catch some ratters in low sec with the D-scan. That's one of my favorite features in this game, the D-scan. Basically, enter the system, scan, locate where the target is lurking around, and warp right on top of them. And I think with my experience in the other game, I'll be able to do that very easily in this game as well. It's the principle and the idea is about the same. The only difference is how the ship behaves. The ships are a little bit slower here and takes a bit longer to warp and things like that. But the principle, the idea is about the same, so I don't think that I'll have much trouble with that. And the last couple ships left. And then I'll have to crawl in that rock to get the box. The most annoying part of the site is actually getting the box to open, because you have to be within 2.5 kilometers from the box in order to open it. And since the rock is well hidden inside of the rock, you have to enter through one of the holes. I know, can be annoying, especially if you have high ping and if your ship behaves with 3 seconds delay, then it is going to be a problem. But I'll get used to it. There is no one else in the system with me, so I should be good. No one usually attempts to steal. If they attempt to steal, I'll shoot them. I'm just waiting for the moment when someone decides to steal my wreck, and then they become red. When they start flashing red, it means you are free to shoot them. And that will happen. In high sec you can do PvP. If someone is greedy enough, just fit one warp disruptor or scrambler, and if they're close, point and yeet. That's what I plan to do. And if they shoot back, well, they get concorded, because Concord will actually come towards your location if they shoot back at you. Because you can kill them, but they can't kill you because they stole your loot. At least that's how it used to work. My friend told me that Concord warps to the location if someone steals loot, so I guess we will find out when that happens. And just conveniently, I noticed that this rock has a hole on top that I'll use to enter the wreck, to enter the asteroid. Again, whoever decided to put the container inside of the asteroid, there is a special place in hell for you, buddy. Just saying that. Okay, looted. Got the key. And let me get out of the rock now. Why is there a C-type just lurking inside of the Orthrus? Well, time to go to the main area. And since no one looted the box, no one is probably inside, no one cleared it because the local was clear when I entered the system. There is nothing more satisfying than having a lot of combat sites in high-sec and seeing no one in local. That's the best thing in the game. And there is the final boss, the battleship. Now here you have a couple options when you're solo. You can go kill the overseer, loot the wreck, and basically leave the site, because when the boss is killed, when the main ship is killed, then the site disappears from the scanner. Or you can stay and you can kill all ships that are in the site for the extra bounty. However, if you are looking for the main reward, which is the loot from the overseas battleship, then you can draw the battleship out by shooting at it, and then you just burn away from it. You have to be fast in the battleship in order to burn away from it, so make sure that you go above 850 meters per second with whatever ship you do this site. That way the battleship will follow you and it will be pulled out of the main group of enemy ships, so when it dies you can loot it without having the other ships interfere with your site. And that's my plan right now.
A module has run out of charges.
52 kilometer is the keep at range. The overseer is usually using blasters. They have about 20-25 kilometer range. Sometimes it does hit at 30-35 up until 40 kilometers, but the damage is not going to be that serious if you have a shield booster, or if you have the ancillary shield booster you can easily boost the shield back up. And they are mostly doing kinetic and thermal, so focus on those two damage types for the tank and you will have no issues to complete this site. Now the cargo hold, well, hopefully I'll use enough ammo. I'll definitely use the ancillary shield booster and the missiles as much as I can to make as much room in the cargo as possible. And the overseas battleship is a vindicator, but it doesn't have any vindicator stats, it just uses the hull. One of the better looking ships in the game. Thermal hull and EM on hull, but you want to do mainly EM because you want to do mainly thermal because that's the overall best until you go through the armor, and then on hull thermal or EM both work. In my case, I'll just keep on shooting on throttle. Now it might look like they can repair all the armor while I reload. That's not really a big problem, because I'll just add up the missiles and DPS once the reload is finished. And missiles are flying again. They're also shooting me with the kinetic missiles, with the light missiles. You can see the damage type on the log that is floating above the ship there. That's how you can determine what type of weapons are being used at you. The reload will kick in. Soon I like to use the sensor booster because they use dampeners, and I believe the optimal range on their dampeners is about 100 kilometers. Now I have a sensor booster, and the Orthrus has a very good lock range by default, but the sensor booster does help at extending that range. So in case they dump your ship to the point where you can't lock them, and if you're forced to get close, that's when the sensor booster will help, because it does counter the dampeners really well. And I'm still keeping the overseer at distance, using the micro warp drift only when I have to take distance. Basically, I don't allow the overseer to be below 40, but also not above 61, because that's the maximum range of my missiles. So 52 kilometers or 51 kilometers would be the optimal range for this ship. The main group of enemy ships are now 100 kilometers, more than 100 kilometers away from me, which is good. That means I can safely go and loot the overseer battleship when it is destroyed. And then perhaps I'll just go and kill all the ships in the site, or perhaps I would just go and loot the wreck and then dock. You have basically two options: kill the overseer and loot the wreck and warp out, or kill all ships and get the most out of the bounty.
A module has run out of charges.
The overseer is in hold. Although still there is a lot of armor to go through. This would appear to be much more different if I were using the heavy missiles, because their reload is only 10 seconds and the DPS is more constant, so the overseer battleship will go down. It will appear like it's going down faster, although it's about the same. Or perhaps with the high rate of fire on the light missiles, it might actually be faster this way. I think this is the loot that I had from some of the previous sites that I did. I just never really unloaded the loot. A C-type module. It's not that expensive. The whole module at least. "51 kilometers away from the main target, 134 kilometers away from the main group of enemy ships, which is good. The idea works really well after all. The Phi-Operation Protector is the main target, and overall that's the most expensive ship. The bounty 2.5 million, and it can drop C-types, which is really nice. You can do this easily with a Caracal, you can do this easily with a Caracal Navy. Basically, any missile ship that can go over 850 meters per second can easily do the mission, can easily do the combat side. And I will attempt to do these sites with a bunch of other ships, including some cannon ships. And I'll try to show you a lot of different ideas and builds that you can use in order to clear these sites. After all, they do pay well, and the loot drops can be nice, very nice for alpha clones.
A module has run out of charges.
A very fun way to get ISK in this game if you are a combat pilot. Combat exploration is indeed very fun, and unfortunately I got caught in the reload. The battleship was almost dead, but the reload kicked in and it delayed the Orthrus destruction for the next 35 seconds, but that's fine. Okay, missiles are launched again, and now this battleship will be dead in the next couple of moments. Main group of enemy ships 140 plus kilometers away from me, which is, you know, safe distance. And the main target has been destroyed. Okay, perfect. Let's see what's inside of the wreck, and let's reload weapons. And then I'll probably clear all of the ships and then fast forward till the end of the combat site. But first, let me see if I made some good ISK tonight. Hopefully I did. After all, it's very rare to 142 million. That's actually really good. C-type afterburner, C-type repairer. The afterburner and repairer are the most valuable items over here. And let's quickly loot that. Oh, of course, not enough cargo. Well, I knew that would happen, so let me unload some missiles. Let's loot the wreck. Okay, it's in the cargo. 200 million actually, okay, not bad. And I'll just get some missiles back. And well, now I'll just focus on the main group of enemy ships. Okay, well, after clearing these ships for a while, it will be time to go and warp out. Overall, a pretty good and I would say pretty solid catch for tonight, and it's how you can do these combat sites fairly easily with basically any ship that you have. It doesn't have to be an Orthrus, it can be a Bellicose, it can be a Caracal. The same idea applies to all of these ships, and I will I will actually try to record the cheaper ships doing the sides in the same way. So I'm very curious to see what the difference ends up being. But with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed. It was a very nice little one with the Orthrus, and again very nice Ultra as well. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, I love you all. Fly safe, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.